evening and welcome to the public session. We do have a couple of people who'd like to present to the group. The first one is Gail Gabisher, and if you could just come up, state your name, your address. Try to keep it around 5 minutes or less. Well, I'm just saying, Gail.
I'm looking more at 5 seconds. Gail Gabisher, 5 Sunrise Drive, and I am just here to remind you, Mayor Gillen, and the councilors, and anyone in the office, that at Fort Ontario this Friday, we will be celebrating Flag Day. We'll have 600 to 700 children over there from the various schools. The Elks Club will be presenting their Flag Day program, and I think it would be very appropriate for any or all of you to attend. I know you'll be there, Mayor Gillen. And I will also mention that on the Saturday, the 14th, we will be having a Revolutionary War reenactment, complete with people in costume, and the fort will be open. Usually, we close at 5, but this week we will be open until 9 o'clock on Saturday for a retreat and for artillery firing. So it'll be something a little bit different, and we certainly invite you all to come and participate. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gabisher. The next speaker is Susan Herkowitz. Ms. Herkowitz.
Hi, my name is Susan Herkowitz. I live on West 1st Street up by Carson's Car Mart, which is the old NIMO building. I've been here 14 years. I own a house here, and this is a great community. My issue is the siren going off at Brookfield, which I know you are all aware of. I just want to let you know it causes a lot of stress. It's horrible. I feel like I live in a Nazi prison camp, and it's this beautiful city with this beautiful water, and when that siren goes off, it sounds like a Nazi prison camp. I mean, sometimes I feel like, should I jump under the table? Am I going to be bombed here? I have friends and family that come up, and when that thing goes off, they're like, what is that? And it's not just me. As you know, I've been over in Lowe's and can hear it inside of Lowe's. When you have tugboats and ships coming in, they don't sound off these obnoxious sirens. And if they have to keep a sound, make it something that fits in. Make it like a foghorn or a tugboat. I would even take a train whistle over that siren that's going off. And then the voice sounds like a guy hooked on phonics. And sometimes it'll go off on a Sunday morning at like 8:30, then again at 9. You've got people, firefighters, police officers, nurses, hospital staff, working midnight shifts that need to sleep days, and that thing going off is so obnoxious to this community, and something really needs to be done. I've lived on the St. Lawrence River, I've lived on Cayuga Lake, I've lived in some beautiful places, and I love it. This is the longest I've been anywhere. 14 years working for the New York State Department of Corrections, which I now work for the college, but something has to be done about that. It's just ridiculous. And that's my 5 minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Herkowitz. I would echo that as well. I actually live in your neighborhood as well. I'm up on Varick Street, and so I hear it all the time too. We did meet, the council and I did meet with representatives from FERC and with Brookfield Energy a few months back now. I sent a letter to them stating we need an update as to the federal group said that they would regulate a different sound. Brookfield has yet to implement anything. I'll send them out another letter. I sent one out. I finally got a response last week. This is not acceptable. You are correct. So I'll commit to doing that. We'll make this a priority.
I'm at the point I'm ready to sell my house and move out of here. I just like, this is insane to have that going on
I
like
agree.
that.
I agree.
But I don't know who would want to buy my house with that. You know what I'm saying? And I have to be honest, my property value.
Mhm.
So, but thank you, and
Thank you, Ms.
I hope
Herkowitz.
it's some really good progress on it.
I will keep you informed.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else who'd like to address the assembly? Yes, Ms. Van Elst.
Mayor and councilors, I would like to request a waiver on the agenda for this evening. The reason is that resolution number 227 of 2014 was a resolution that authorized the Community Development Office to apply for funds up to $500,000 for a 75% matching grant through the consolidated funding application to the Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation to help with the work that needs to be done on City Hall. I received a letter yesterday from John Mesick, the architect for the City Hall project, and he says in his letter, Dear Mayor Gillen, Mary Vanous has requested our recommendations with regard to which the repair items on the exterior of City Hall, as described in our report of last December, should be given priority if available funds were restricted to $600,000 to $700,000. He says this is a difficult call to make, as remedying the most serious potential hazards posed by the failing stonework would require funding in excess of $900,000. Nevertheless, the work to which we would assign the greatest priority to arrest further damage and potential collapse is as follows. Cornice and gutter reconstruction at $478,800, and masonry repair and rebuilding on the 3 facades of $200,500. With construction contingency and architectural services, and prices being based on the 2013 year, and depending on bidding, the total budget for this project would be in $935,500, and I'm paraphrasing here. He states that if funding is not available to tackle this work, some sort of emergency safety measures ought to be undertaken. So I'm asking the council tonight, if they would, to modify resolution number 227 to increase the amount that we could go for this project to that which John Mesick recommends of $935,500. We had it at $600,000. So I'm sorry for this late request, but since I just received the letter yesterday, I wanted to get this in before the application due date, which is next Monday. So I appreciate your patience, and I hope that you could consider this for this evening's council agenda. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment this evening? I will adjourn the public session until 7:30. Pledge of Allegiance. The clerk, please call the roll.
Susanna, the mayor.
Here.
Counselor Enright.
Here.
Counselor Myers.
Here.
Counselor Todd. Counselor Walker.
Here.
Counselor Barlow. Counselor Van Buren.
Here.
Counselor Capelitz.
Here.
All present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please call Resolution 240.
Oh, wait.
Resolution 240 would approve the minutes of the county council held May 27th, 2014.
Councilor Van Buren, Councilor Barlow. Any discussion? Councilor Van Buren.
Not to just jump ahead, I actually had something I wanted, if we could have.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I did jump right into it. I do have a couple of issues on the agenda, but I apologize.
We could just,
We'll go back to that.
well,
I do have,
actually, we have a motion on the floor, so we kind of gotta
do we have to vote
roll
on it?
through it, but we could jump in between the next one.
Okay.
I don't think
All
it'd be a
right,
problem.
let's call the roll.
Counselor Capelitz.
Yes.
Counselor Enright.
Yes.
Counselor Myers.
Yes.
Counselor Todd. Counselor Walker.
Yes.
Counselor Barlow. Counselor Van Buren.
Yes.
And that motion passes 7-0.
Thank you. Under the mayor's report, I do have a sad announcement. Last week, George William Bill Ayers passed away. He was a U.S. Navy veteran, had worked for the city for more than 20 years, and he was with our wastewater treatment plant. Retired on November 29, 1999. assistant wastewater treatment plant operator. Our sympathy is extended to his family and his many friends. So we can have a moment of silence, please. Thank you. On a lighter note, on Tuesday, June the 10th, there will be a dedication of Barbara Donahue Drive at 1:30. That's tomorrow at 1:30. Common Council passed a resolution recently naming the street, which is located in Port Ontario and adjacent to the Safe Haven Museum in honor of the former councilor of the Second Ward. The public is invited to join us for this occasion. We will be meeting at the northern end of East 4th Street in the Art Association building parking lot at 1:30 tomorrow. So if you can make it, it's a great tribute to a very nice also, as a little note about the filming and the taping, our meetings, the Common Council meetings and our committee meetings can now be viewed on the day following the meeting on YouTube. So just go on the internet and do a search called City of Oswego, and it'll come up with YouTube, and you select the meeting date that you want to view. We'll soon have that on our website, so you'll be able to look at that at your leisure through our website. As far as live broadcast, we're still negotiating with Time Warner Cable, and we'll see if we can get that soon to have a live broadcast for people at home. I did issue an executive order as well regarding the rental permit applications. So I thought I would read that to everyone to understand what that executive order was. And this was dated June the 4th, 2014, executive order number 5 of this year. After consultation with the city attorney and assistant city attorney, I am issuing this executive order effective immediately. The city of Oswego shall cease requiring inspection of the interior of rental units in the city of Oswego as a condition for issuing rental permits. Applicants for a rental permit shall be required to complete the attached rental permit application and affidavit of compliance, and shall pay the appropriate rental permit fee to the city chamberlain. Upon receipt of a fully completed rental permit application and affidavit of compliance, signed and notarized by the property owner or property manager, together with the receipt from the city chamberlain for the rental permit fee, a 3-year rental permit shall be issued to the applicant by the city. This executive order does not prohibit the city's code enforcement officers from inspecting the exterior of any property, nor does it prohibit the inspection of the interior of any rental property upon the request of the owner, property manager, or the tenant. So I wanted to get that into a public forum, and I appreciate Councilor Van Buren reminding me that I wanted to bring that to your attention. Do the councilors have any comments, reports? Yes, Councilor Van Buren.
Thank you, Your Honor. I recently contacted you and several others about the signs in public space issue that we're facing in the city. I know it might seem like a minor problem, but we've discussed this for over a year now, and we've had some great discussion on policies and procedures that we've implemented, but I still see a real lack of regard for the process. The signs placed by the Lions Club is a great example of where the bar should be set. To the council, forms and insurance presented, locations clearly identified, and the signs itself do not detract from the areas placed. A lot of these areas are the medians and intersections that we have. A lot of those are manicured and volunteers like Project Bloom, and if anybody's had a chance to check out the ones at 481, they look gorgeous this year. I greatly appreciate the efforts that they've put in. On the other end of the spectrum, we see the numerous plastic signs of any and all events in and outside the city, placed everywhere from public space to street corners, telephone poles, and on. These signs are generally cheap and detract from the areas that they are placed. Those are an issue. They put them wherever they want. They cover a lot of the stuff that we're trying to show off. It's become an issue for us. So, as a city, we have the ability to regulate this as a simple process. And I believe a combined effort with the DPW, when they mow areas of public space, if they could just pick those signs up that aren't authorized by the council and put them on their truck, bring them back. They can be kept for a certain number of days and then tossed if they're not picked up. We have fines associated with that for putting them in public space. I understand a lot of not-for-profits put them in there, but if you look at some of the ones that are put up, like the particle board A-frame signs with poster board stapled to them, they're not really setting a good example for what we're looking to do in the city. So I'd like us to take initiative as a council and show some support to the groups that are volunteering their time to weed and landscape these areas and kind of bring beauty to the city and start enforcing this rule that we have through zoning with stuff that's already on the books. So I would look for your guys' support and help in this issue.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments or reports? Yes, Councilor Capelitz.
Thank you, Your Honor. I just wanted to echo the comments made by Susan Herkowitz from 7th Ward, who lives, she said, on West First Street, right along that river. And I know we've had some discussions. Actually, I believe it began in August with FERC, and now we're into June, and we still don't have any real resolution to this. And I did get a copy of the letter that was sent to you, Your Honor, from Brookfield, and there were several things that are identified in there that I took note of as far as what they're working on, but it seems to me that it's time to make a decision that sets this city free as far as the alarms and the voices that echo throughout the 7th Ward, and I know well beyond the 7th Ward, I don't think there's any ward in this city that doesn't get to hear those voices. And I'll tell you, for a river that's been fished for years and years and years, and unfortunately the tragic death of 2 fishermen has brought on some safety measures that in my mind have really held this whole city captive. And Ms. Herkowitz is absolutely right. She's thinking about selling her house, but God forbid she sells it on a day when the siren or the voices are going off, and somebody's going to say, what the heck is that? In the letter, Brookfield talks about minimizing the noise impact, and my only recommendation and suggestion to Brookfield is they need to eliminate the sounds. And they came up, there's some options that they identified here that I think probably can be used in part or in whole or modified in some regard that may serve as a warning system that is a lot less obnoxious than the current system in place. So, and I think Susan speaks literally for thousands of people that live in this city. Enough's enough. It's time for Brookfield to make some changes. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm actually going through a similar situation over on East Mercier Street. This happens to be with CSX. I know Mrs. Herkowitz had set up train whistles, but there's a serious issue over there with CSX coming through between the hours of 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning and laying on those whistles. I understand there's federal mandates that they have to do this, but what I'm asking tonight, I'm asking this council and the mayor, this whole administration here to endorse a letter to CSX and ask them if there's anything that we can do to resolve them coming between those hours. I understand the port's expanding and there can be more rail stuff, but these hours of the morning, I would hate to live down there. So I'm asking everyone here and the mayor to, if we could draw up something to CSX and maybe sit down and get a resolution for this for the people down there. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Councilor Todd.
I don't know if anybody read in the paper this weekend, but down in Cortland last fall, they had what's called the Cortica Cup held between Cortland and Ithaca, and they had a huge problem down there. And most of the news stations around here and basically equated up to what our Bridge Street run is. After the community got so outraged by what had gone on, the college president there, who actually has some concern for the community as opposed to the one we have here, he actually got involved and said, we can't let this happen. And they got together and they came up with some pretty good solutions on how to mitigate and stop this stuff. So going forward, that Cortica Cup shouldn't get as unruly as it does now. Similar to how Harbor Fest used to get out of hand here before the PD changed their policies and the city changed their policies on how that was done. Sitting here 4 weeks later after the last Bridge Street run, my residents were absolutely outraged by, and we still don't have meetings with the college. I mean, to me, that pretty much tells me that she really doesn't care what goes on here. She sits out in that nice ivory palace of hers on the hill where she doesn't have to listen to it. And her and her friends, the intellectual elite, get to sit there and pretend that there isn't anything going wrong in our community. I'd like to ask what's being done about it, because we still don't have a solution on it. And the they're in the first ward are still getting hammered by this, and they're gonna get hammered again. So I've been told that she pretty much doesn't wanna meet with us. I don't really think that's an option for her, but I'd like to know where we stand on trying to get some resolution and some good guidelines and rules if this is gonna go forward in the future. So, waiting to hear from her, and we still ain't heard from her.
Thank you, Counselor. Counselor Enright.
Yeah, I just want to mention that this weekend is the Tri-Oswego, and that's a triathlon. It's going to be held down at at Wright's Landing, and just let the citizens know that there'll be over 300 athletes that'll be swimming in the harbor. Then they're going to be biking, going up 3rd Street and up Schuyler Street out in the country, and then there's going to be a run going on. So just be careful when you're driving. There'll be a lot of safety personnel, the volunteers there, but just be careful and be aware that this is going on. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Reports? Seeing none, clerk, please call resolution 241.
Resolution 241 would approve the use of public spaces for Mr. Thomas Wells, owner of property located at 101 Mitchell Street, in order to install a parking area.
Counselor Myers and Counselor Walker. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Council Campbell,
Yes.
Council Enright,
Yes.
Council Myers,
Yes.
Council Con,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Barlow, Council Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Please call resolution 242.
Resolution 242 would approve the use of public spaces at the request of John and Pamela Dowd, owners of property located at 39 Bronson Street, in order to install an easement.
Counselor Enright, Counselor Barlow. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Council Campbell,
Yes.
Council Enright,
Yes.
Council Myers,
Yes.
Council Con,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Barlow, Council Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Please call resolution 243.
Resolution 243 would approve the use of public spaces at the request of Julie Stanko, owner of property located at 26 East 6th Street, in order to erect a fence.
Counselor Myers and Counselor Walker. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Council Campbell,
Yes.
Council Enright,
Yes.
Council Myers,
Yes.
Council Con,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Barlow, Council Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Please call resolution 244.
Resolution 244 would approve the use of the Oswego River along the west area for the springboard renewal project.
Counselor Capelowitz. Counselor Enright. Any discussion? Counselor Van Buren.
Thank you. Just like to thank Brian Chetney and Dawn Matap for the great work that they're doing at the Youth Bureau. They've put in a lot of hours to bring some great programs to the city, and they continue to do so. So I want to thank them for all the hard work they've been putting in.
Yes, Counselor Capelowitz.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I just, along with the beautification that takes place along our river walk, as it relates to the Springboard Mural Project, I also would encourage Your Honor and Commissioner, and I know we have a limited force as far as cleanup is concerned on that park, and if there's any way we could even recruit volunteers and maybe even adopt a portion of the park with high school students or the college or some other way. I do understand that somebody took some action to have some lights replaced in behind the YMCA that were out for some time. I think those were National Grid's responsibility, but I know that step was taken. But I really think it just goes with the whole beautification of the city, and I think we need to spend more time and attention to some of those little details. And I also know how tough it is with our limited work power, so maybe we can be a little creative with respect to how we can do some of the cleanup. So I think this council probably will adopt a stretch on its own to take care of it if they needed to, so.
Thank you. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Council Campbell,
Yes.
Council Enright,
Yes.
Council Myers,
Yes.
Council Con,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Barlow, Council Van Buren.
Yes.
Resolution passes 7-0.
Please call resolution 245.
Resolution 245 would approve the use of a portion of Washington Square East Park on Sunday, July 5th, 2015, by the Masonic Lodge.
Counselor Van Buren. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Council Campbell,
Yes.
Council Enright,
Yes.
Council Myers,
Yes.
Council Con,
Yes.
Council Walker,
Yes.
Council Barlow, Council Van Buren.
Yes.
The resolution passes
call Resolution 246. Counselor Enright and Counselor Capelitz. Any discussion? Yes, Counselor Walker.
Thank you. I'd like to go back to Resolution 245. On there it says Sunday, July 5th. Should be 6th.
Let's say six.
I've got 6.
Oh, okay, it's the agenda has the error. The resolution is a different date.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks for catching that. Regarding 246, are there any comments? Yes, Counselor Enright.
I just want to thank Ann Backer, bless her caffeinated heart, for thinking of innovative ways to bring some activity downtown when it's normally nothing going on, and I think this event is going to be great, and I just hope it catches on and the word spreads, so thank you, Ann.
I agree with that. Yes, Counselor Todd.
I agree. Had a lot of discussions with some of the business owners down there on West First Street, who also think this is great for Sunday afternoon. This should go over pretty well, and like Fran says, it gives some people some extra stuff to do on a Sunday. I think it's good.
Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 247. Counselor Capelitz, Counselor Myers. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 248. Counselor Van Buren, Counselor Walker. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry. Councilman.
Thank you. I would just like to thank Mrs. Anderson for, preparing all the footwork in this and having a smooth transition, so I think I saw her earlier. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, Counselor Capelitz.
Yes, Your Honor, I just also, at committee, we did talk about honoring Dr. Diamond, who, after many, many years of dedicated service, I know at some point will...
We'll have a proclamation from our next council.
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor.
And I'll meet with Carolyn. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 249. Counselor Myers. Counselor Barber. Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 250. Counselor Capelitz, Counselor Van Buren. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 251. Counselor Myers. Counselor Walker. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 252. Counselor Kaplitz, Counselor Barlow. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Please call Resolution 253. Counselor Van Buren, Counselor Barlow. Any discussion? Counselor Kaplitz.
Your Honor, yeah, and we've all talked about the fact that we all have new microphones in front of us and the video equipment, et cetera, and being able to use both the committee meeting and council meetings and make them available to the public. We are experiencing some technical difficulties from now and then. You'll hear a little feedback, and Mike Bonney, who has done a lot of work on this, I just wanted to recognize him personally for the work he's put into this, and his supervisor, Ms. Code, because I know that this was also done at significantly less money than what I had originally thought, and when I inquired about updating the old equipment. And if you haven't had a chance to go to YouTube to take a look at the quality of the broadcast, it is not a 1940s black and white TV show anymore. It is in color, and for the most part, you're able to hear all of us, and we're kind of working on. I don't want to call it the theatrics because this isn't theater, but we need to do a good job speaking up so that folks can hear what we're saying, and we're working on those things. So, and we're also open to all the criticisms, just on the video equipment, though, nothing else. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Please call Resolution 254. Counselor Kaplitz, Counselor Van Buren. Is there any discussion? Counselor Todd.
A little confused by this. Back in the fall, when we did the budget, we took all this money out. And after the beginning of the year, we held a meeting and we tasked this department with restructuring by the beginning of April. So we took the money out and we didn't authorize it to get spent. But then we spent it and then asked to get it. To me, that's a little backwards. We were supposed to ask for it after we restructured and then get it before you needed it. But we spent it first, so I'm confused on how that would happen when we had control of this money. So, it's a little bit shocking to me that we're seeing this.
Any other comments? Counselor Van Buren.
Thank you. First off, I wanted to say thank you to Kathy Miano, one of the employees in the office. She's been overseeing a project in the 6th Ward on 277 Maple Street, and I know she's been working hard to keep that project moving. It certainly had its fair share of snags, and I know the residents are having an issue with it. So just to talk about that project, it was a tax-seized property that was owned by the city, and it was bought by the Community Development Office. It was taken into the Community Development Office separate from the council's budget to be rehabbed. The project has taken a great deal of time, and I want to thank the trade unions that have stepped up to do the rehab, and I understand that there was some water issues that we're currently facing, and I've talked to several other residents down there to explain them that issue. But I would like to see that the project is given special attention after the 16th, after the grants are due, as I understand this is a busy time for that office. But that needs to be wrapped up. It's become an eyesore for the neighbors down there. The lawn needed to be taken care of, and I think some coordination between the Community Development Office and the DPW or the crews that are working on that would be helpful if that could get addressed. Many of the city's properties that were due to code violations for lawns were taken care of well before this one. So I'd like to see that addressed. And I'd also like to see a letter sent out to the residents of the neighborhoods to let them know what the status of the project is and what's going on. A lot of them have grown tired of the blue bowl sitting in the front yard that has now become an eyesore for them as well. I think there's definitely some communication things that could be better adjusted from that office to this administration. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I also want to thank you for going down with your weed whacker to clear that grass. I appreciate that. Any other? Yes, Councilor Kaplitz.
My lawn could use it too, Counselor, if I may. Also, this one is This is a tough one for me, only because I know we've been trying to get these numbers together, and we've been trying to do this coincidental with a report on restructuring. And I really think, Councilor Todd talked about the restructuring issue, and I really, I'm of the opinion myself that I'd like to see what we're talking about as far as restructuring before we start authorizing the money. And I'm also just, our original numbers were $11,000 here. That was the original numbers that I think were given as far as the need. And now I know it's at 18,000. And I did work with the Chamberlain's office to try and uncover what the additional request was for. And I still have a couple of question marks in my mind. And I'm just letting you know I'm not comfortable with it. So.
Thank you, Councilor. Yes, Councilor Walker.
Thank you. We always, as a council, we all committed to saying that we needed a quarterly report. I haven't seen one. We're halfway through the year. So I don't believe I'm going to support this. Thank you.
Any other councilors and comments? I guess my question is that I believe some of this is actually for payroll, is it not? So if we do not approve this, then we cannot pay the staff? They have. All right. All right. Okay. Any other comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
I vote no.
I've got to vote no on this.
No.
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 Clerk, please call Resolution 255. Councilor Van Buren. Councilor Kaplowitz. Any discussion? Councilor Van Buren.
Just wanted to let the public know that this money was budgeted for, as it is yearly, to remedy the code violation issues like trash, high grass, and noxious weeds and all that. We are just transferring this to the police department's budget where our code compliance officer is now working out of. So this money is just a transfer from there that was already budgeted. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Please call Resolution 256. Councilor Walker. Councilor Barlow. Any discussion? Hearing none, please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Please call Resolution 257. Councilor Enright. Councilor Van Buren. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. I do like that Mrs. Code is doing this for a succession plan. I think a lot of other departments should follow her lead to update and train their employees that are up and coming. So, thank you, Mrs. Code.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Please call Resolution 258. Councilor Kaplowitz and Councilor Van Buren. Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Please call Resolution 259. Counselor Capelitz. Any discussion? Counselor Capelitz.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear on, that the amendment is to change the total dollar amount to $935,000, and $935,500 on that resolution, and that there's still a requirement with the CFA funding that there be a 25% city share, and that's, those are still issues that have to be remedied in this tight financial climate that we live in. And I understand that we have some opportunities perhaps to, that's going to work out to about $200,000 and change. So there may be some chances for in-kind services, ways to help offset any financial contributions. But it's, if we don't do this, City Hall becomes another Coleman's building.
Thank you, sir. Any other comments? Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 There is no executive session? Yes, Counselor
Move to
Capelitz.
adjourn, Your Honor.
Counselor Van Buren, second. Please call the roll.
Yes.
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 The meeting is adjourned. I was a little too hurried.